Today I'm going to show you how to make a traditional Japanese New Year's dish called kuromame, so stick around. New Year's or Oshougatsu is a time for rest and reflection here in Japan. And it's when families get together to visit shrines and feast on a spread of symbolic New Year's foods called Osechi Ryōri. It's meant to be restful for everyone, so osechi dishes are usually prepared before the new year and packed into large tiered boxes called jubako.
Kuromame, which literally means black bean in Japanese, are large black soybeans. They're typically simmered with sugar and a little soy sauce until the beans are so plump and shiny, they look like they're about to burst.
Biting into kuromame is a magical experience because the piano black skin on the outside dissolves into the rich velvety bean. The thing is, getting the texture and appearance right is a lot harder than it may seem, and it makes this one of the more challenging osechi dishes to prepare. I've enlisted the help of chemistry and physics to make this a no-brainer, so let's get started with a look at our ingredients.
I've got 250 grams of large black soybeans, 5 cups cold water, a 1/4 teaspoon salt, and a 1/4 teaspoon baking soda. To season the beans, I have 200 grams or about a cup of sugar and 1.5 tablespoons of soy sauce. There's also a secret ingredient I'll reveal later. I'm using kuromame from Tamba today, which is known for its high-quality black beans. These ones are about 1 centimeter in size. First, we want to rinse these in a few changes of cold water. I usually gently scrub the outsides of the beans with my hands like this. Once they're clean, you want to drain off all of the water. Then I'm going to add 5 cups of cold water to soak the beans. Good black soybeans should be large and uniform in both size and color. We're also going to add the baking soda and salt to the soaking liquid, and I'm going to give that a stir. You can check out my Anko recipe for a more detailed explanation, but in short, the baking soda and salt weakens the pectin in the beans, which makes them soften more quickly. Okay, now I'm gonna cover this up, and we need to let the beans soak for at least 12 hours. I usually soak the beans overnight and cook them the next morning. The next day, our beans should end up looking like this. Some of the skins may have split open, but this is okay. Now I'm gonna dump these into a pressure cooker, and we're gonna add the sugar and soy sauce. And remember that secret ingredient I was telling you about? It's a metal cucumber. Well, actually the shape doesn't really matter. It's the fact that it's made out of iron. That's why you can use iron supplements as well. As the iron dissolves, the metal ions form complexes with the anthocyanins in the beans, which results in a bathochromic shift and stabilizes the pigments. I know that was a mouthful, but basically the iron intensifies the black color and prevents it from fading. Okay, let's drop our lump of iron into the pot, and then I'm gonna affix the lid and get this over to the stove. Now I'm gonna set the cooker to high pressure and turn the heat on to high to quickly bring it up to pressure. Once the cooker starts to whistle like this, turn down the heat so that you still have a slow stream of steam escaping, but it doesn't sound like a jet that's about to take off. Then I'm gonna set a timer for 25 minutes. If your beans are a lot smaller than mine, they may take a little less time. Okay, our timer's up, so let's turn off the heat, and then I'm gonna let the pressure cooker cool to room temperature without opening it.
Before we see how our beans turned out, I want to take a moment to thank everyone who's supported me this year. Whether you're pitching in on Patreon or taking the time to leave a thoughtful comment, your support is what keeps me going. So seriously, thank you. I'm particularly excited to share the recipes I have planned for the new year. So if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you don't miss out. Alright, let's check on our kuromame.
Alright, the pressure cooker's had a chance to come down to room temperature, so let's open it up and see what we've got. These are looking great, but I want to get them even darker, so let's transfer the iron cucumber to a container. And then I'm going to add the beans along with the cooking liquid. Now I'm going to cover this with a lid and put it in the fridge to rest overnight. Okay, it's been about a day, so let's see how they're doing. Beautiful, aren't they? To plate these up, I'm just gonna drain them with a spoon and add them to a small bowl like this. By the way, do you remember how I said each dish included in Osechi Ryōri had a symbolic significance? For kuromame, it's because mame means bean, but it's also a word used to describe hard work and diligence. So eating kuromame for Oshougatsu represents a wish for a year of good work ahead. To make this a little extra, I'm gonna garnish it with some edible gold leaf. It doesn't add any flavor and the inert metal will pass right through your system, but it sure does make it look fancy, don't you think?
Okay, our kuromame are looking gloriously glossy, so let's try them out. Itadakimasu. That gold leaf on top adds just a little bit of extra bling that makes these super special. All right, I'm gonna try the one with the most gold out here. You know, beans usually have kind of a skin on the outside that you have to get through to get to the center. But these just completely melt away, so you get right to that rich velvety bean on the inside. That's so delicious, and it's gonna make the perfect sweet accompaniment to go with the salty and tangy foods that are getting packed into our jubako. Kuromame is a staple of the Japanese New Year's table, but it's also a delicious sweet side that's great for packing into bento, so I hope you'll give it a try. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by giving this a big thumbs up and by sharing it with all your friends that love Japanese food. Alright, I still have a bunch of prep to do for this year's Osechi, but I hope you enjoy the last few days of 2021, and I'll catch you in the new year.